I've never, ever had a brisket with the same smoke profile as this.
Today we're going to do another experiment. We need to find out if you can cook picanha to pulled beef. Normally a picanha, you would never ever cook it over 54 degrees Celsius because otherwise it just, it's gonna get dry. But if you want to cook it to pulled beef, you gotta go up, all the way up until 96, 98 degrees Celsius. So here is what I did. I selected the most beautiful, fatty, intramuscular, fat-rich picanha, which is Wagyu picanha, and we're going to cook it and figure out if she will do the job. And this is the picanha that I've chosen. Let's take our beautiful picanha out of the package. Oh, look at that beauty. I'm gonna trim it up real quick because we want to expose the maximum amount of meat to the rub. So when that's done and all cleaned up, it's time to move on to our beef rub, which consists of coarse sea salt, black pepper, onion powder and garlic powder. Shake it all up and it's done. First we're going to hit the fat cap with our beef rub and then the back. Now this beauty is all powdered up and ready for the grill. You might think, Pitmaster X, you're overdoing it with that rub on the picanha. That's just a waste. The picanha needs that amount of rub when you're smoking it that long because you need all of the flavors to penetrate and it's going to go in there. It's going to create a beautiful bark. It's like smoking a brisket. Heavy on the salt and pepper because it will make it taste fantastic. Or at least, I hope so. Let's find out and fire up the grill. We fired up our Joe Jr., put in a chunk of smoke wood, and now we got the meat on. It's ready to go. But I want you to know that this is a vital experiment. It helps me to understand what my cut of meat is doing. Can I cook it like a steak? Can I cook it like a roast? Can I smoke it all the way to pulled? If it's possible, then it teaches me what the boundaries of this cut of beef is. And that will make me a better cook. So let's close the lid and let this picanha smoke. Yeah. I cooked the picanha for 5 full hours, and because of the Joe Jr. and the distance between the charcoal, that went a little quicker than expected, so the 5 hours is rather quick. I didn't do a wrap because things looked really good, but what I did is I put an aluminum tray in because I wanted to make sure that all the fat that came out of that beautiful Wagyu picanha didn't drip onto that deflector stone and therefore creating black horrible smoke. I didn't want to have that burnt flavor. And turns out that was a great idea because if you look at the tray and the amount of fat that's in the tray, it's unbelievable. If you would have gotten that in your barbecue, and especially a tiny barbecue like the Joe Jr., you would have been in trouble. Now let's take a closer look at our picanha. We didn't use the exact technique that I use for cooking a brisket, but the result is quite similar. We got a beautiful smoke ring, and the fat cap is somewhat of the fat cap between the flat and the point of the brisket, and it turned out pretty fantastic, I might say. All in all, we got a, well, we don't have much pull, but I wanted the beef to be almost to pull, and it turned out perfect. When I dropped in the thermometer, it just went down like whoop, like butter. There was no resistance whatsoever. And the meat of the picanha stayed nice and juicy. This thing looks absolutely phenomenal and I want to try it right now or I'm losing it.
Look at the wiggle. I wanted to do this the whole time. I'm just going to eat it.
It's so juicy. It's crazy juicy.
What?
I'm not the biggest fan of brisket, but
This is so flavorful.
I think we just found ourselves the new brisket.
I'm comparing it to brisket.
Oh, that's fat.
I've never, ever had a brisket with the same smoke profile as this.
Now I can never go back to making normal picanha.
It's insane.
The dog is going nuts. She's already smelling it.
You might want to change your tactics on brisket because maybe you have to use not a brisket but a picanha.
We actually had to remove the dog because she went totally crazy because she smelled this beef.
Maybe there are pieces in a brisket that are more juicy.
I really love that smoke profile. I love the rub.
The area around the fat is so juicy. There's so much flavor in there.
But I love the fat cap even better.
I mean, you see my reaction. The first bite that the herbs touch your tongue is happening again. It's happening again right now.
It's magic, Morrison.
You should try that too.
And it's not dry, but it's like...
Take a little piece of fat, like this. And then with fat first, just drop it on your tongue.
What if Aaron Franklin would swap one of his brisket with a picanha, or wagyu picanha, and you have like an Easter egg, and somebody in the line gets it. Aaron Franklin, are you listening?
No more brisket rule. This totally worked. Oh man, I'm out. I'm going to take a nap. I'm going to take a nap.
So, do we need to use picanha in the future to make brisket? And it sounds weird, I know. Nah, I think not. But for an experiment, it will be really fun. If you make brisket more often, use a picanha and then feed it to your family and let them tell you. If you don't tell them and they don't notice anything, it's not worth it. But if they say, whoa, this is the best brisket you ever made, then you know it's a good idea. It's definitely gonna be a faster brisket than what you ever made before, and probably the smallest one. So, but if you can fool your family, you might hit the jackpot. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, you know what to do. Big thank you to our patrons and the YouTube members. You guys freaking rock. Hope to see you guys next time. Until then, eet smakelijk en...
Keep on grilling.
Woohoo!
You forgot the website again.
Oh man, don't forget to go to our website. It's important. I don't know why, but there's recipes there. Oh, and we're writing down everything that we do and how it works and the exact amount of the rub and stuff like that. It's all there. It's all there. Why do you always remind me when the video's over?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Why do you always forget?
Because we got so many good things going on.
Oh man. Honestly, you might like brisket better still. I'm in the gray zone.
Well, if you do a fair comparison, and you have a really expensive wagyu brisket and a really expensive wagyu picanha, that will be a fair comparison.
Yeah.
You can't use like a normal brisket compared to, because this will win easily.
But there's something in the fat cap, and I can't describe it, but it's just something that a brisket will never have.